Your mum loves it.
Stop it.
Hello, I'm the spleen. I want to count everybody in. Is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
You've just walked into Ruben's Ranch.
Why, thank you, Spleen. That's a fantastic opening to our madness of episode 14. You are so wonderful here. You do so much.
And ask so
that
little.
was a bit sarcastic.
Oh, well, we'd asked you to count us in 16 times, so we thought we'd just...
And then you start ranting about a different conversation. I don't know what to do.
Oh, stop it. Hey, folks, I'll tell you about the Spleens week. She is actually two-timing on Oscar Piastri with someone out of the Titans. What's his name?
A new lover. His name is Jaden Campbell.
Jaden Campbell. If you're listening to the podcast, Jaden,
No.
holy dooly, mate, the Spleen has got the hots for you.
You can't just out me like that to, like, everyone.
Too late.
Well, his ears stick out that much, he can probably hear us, okay, from the Gold Coast without even listening to the podcast.
He's a very, very beautiful specimen.
Well, if you're female, he might be beautiful.
He's not my cup of tea.
Babar the elephant to me. With his big ears.
Now I really hope he's not listening to this.
It's all right.
You might write in.
He might write in.
Send us a picture of your car, Jaden.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you, I've got a big shout out to Ty. He's this week sent up some premium tawny port to suckle on while we're chatting to you guys. And Christian, the legend, okay. Well, what does someone else call him? The mad scientist has got us some all nice electric blankets. So we're sitting around in the shed with our electric blankets. Absolutely unbelievable. Tawny port, electric blanket, and the TV in front of me. I know where I'm going to be all week, folks.
We're not getting soft at all, are we?
Last week it was so cold.
It was horrible.
It was brutally cold. You got the shivers by the end.
I did. I was freezing.
I was sitting up there on that stool. It was not comfortable.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pretty hectic bloody week for me at work. How has everyone else's week gone, Christian?
Look good, mate. You know, trucking away. Once again, I don't have anything too tangible to touch on. A week just disappeared. Yeah, Andrew?
I've got nothing done bar work, except, we came up here on the weekend and...
Well, that's a tale of itself,
it
isn't
was
it?
a tale in itself, yeah.
It's another electric blanket tale. I think we'll keep that for later on the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Once we've got a little bit more of this delicious tawny port in us.
But no vehicle work done as per usual, so...
I see bits and pieces lying around here, Ruben.
I went to Gatton, and I tell you what, I had a mad time down in Gatton as well. I did a post on our socials of that Chev Ute. I went down to the brake and clutch joint to pick up the master cylinder for the XW and the actual front brake calipers for the XD, which are still sitting on the concrete floor here. And I swung past Shane Zabel's as well and picked up my Monaro radiator that's been sitting down there for probably 3 months. But, yeah, we are so motivated. But anyway, that Chev Ute is absolutely amazing. So check that out. I'm going to actually put up an interview that I did with him in front of the brake and clutch joint to tell everybody about it. So I won't ruin it, okay, until you go see the socials. Oh, actually, bugger it, I will.
It was, yeah.
You can go to the socials and actually see what I'm talking about, but I'm going to tell you, it is this mad Chev Ute, all right, like, I don't know, 50s, and it has got full VL turbo running gear in it.
You'd never have thought that, right?
No way.
When you crept around the tray and went, oh, look, these shocks are through here, that's good, get it nice and low, and you're thinking, oh, what could that be?
We gutted the engine, gearbox diff, and everything else that would fit.
So it's still got the 4-speed, like the 3-speed with the overdrive?
No, 5-speed out of the VL.
Oh, so it's actually a manual?
Yeah, manual.
Oh, because I'd looked inside there before and it's got the big long stick.
Yeah, so engine, gearbox diff, radiator, standard VL radiator came out of it.
Yep.
I scalloped the firewall and put the booster and everything.
Out of the VL. So
And it's-
everything is just VL in here.
It's also got the pedal assembly under the dash.
Okay.
We had a go at putting the power rack out of the VL on it on the original front end.
Yep.
Works an absolute treat.
Wow, so power steering as well.
Power steering, yeah.
Absolutely unreal. Like, it had a big, massive gear stick, like, shifter in it. Like, you think that's in the hot rods with the auto, so they do that with the skull on the top. But it's a 5-speed manual. So it even had, he obviously bought the whole VL donor car, turbo, 5-speed. He put the power steering rack in it, the VL diff, and he goes, you have no idea how simple it was. It nearly just bolted in. The wheel tracks are exactly the same. It's absolutely mint.
Well, he's found the hack.
Oh,
That's awesome.
just brilliant, folks. So check that out. That story will be going up on Thursday, right after the this episode goes live. So make sure you check that out. It'll be on our Instagram channel and the Facebook. So it's just super, super cool.
Wouldn't it be odd just cruising down the street and this rusty old thing pulls up and then you just hear it dose on you? Like, what the, where?
Yeah, what just happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just amazes me at what people can put together and their passion. So he, Aaron's his name, he actually had an Oldsmobile down there as well getting the brakes done. So he drove, so the local Gatton Tilt Tray mob had that on the back, and I was ogling that as well. I've got a story about that as well, so it'll go up. It's just a bit of a quick walk around and what it is. Nothing too spectacular, but I'm actually going to get him on the show, I reckon, and have a chat, because he's got like 5 of these old cars that he's just rat-rotted and done some real cool stuff. He came from Victoria. He's moved up to sunny Queensland to get better weather, and and he's brought his passion with him. So
He seemed like a bit of a cool dude too.
he was. So, and talking about stuff, I know we touched on car shows last week, but we have this week at Schulte's.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
be
looking
good.
forward to that.
Friday evening, afternoon.
Yeah.
Yep. Weather's looking mint.
It kicks off pretty early, doesn't it?
About
Yeah.
4.
We'll be there at 4, I reckon.
Roughly 4. I got a big hectic day down in Brisbane in the morning. I've got to get back for Schulte's. But what vehicle are you going to take, Chris? You going to take the Val?
I don't know about that.
Oh, go on, take the Val. Like, it is super trick. And guys, if you're listening to this podcast, we will try and convince him to get it there. But it is such a cool bit of kit, that Valiant. It's pretty, like, not similar to that Chev Ute, but it is surprising, and it's got all the quirks, and the patina is absolutely next level. And to see it in person, folks, you've got to check it out.
Yeah, bring it down. Come on.
See how we go. Might be the VH if I can get the steering column fixed before then.
Oh,
So I was
I
talking
vote
to
Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant.
you guys would, because you don't have to drive it.
I'll drive it.
There we go. We have a volunteer.
Problem solved.
What are you going to take, Andrew?
Oh, I'll probably just whack over in the EF, I think.
In the EF?
Yeah.
Really?
Or the Ute. Might take the little Ute over.
Remember we spoke about this? Can you tow your boat over
With the
with
little
your
Ute.
ute and put it on display? Like, that would be a trick
That'd
setup.
be a very cool combo.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, all right, let's do that.
I reckon that'd be super cool. I'm going to get Hannah to drive Aiden's Hilux,
Yep.
and Aiden wants to whack the L plates on the old red SS Ute to take down there. So
Yeah,
I
right.
reckon we take a team of cars.
All right. Any chance you could get stickers on the Ute before Friday?
Oh, we can beg.
Just a couple of door ones that look
That
great.
would be
It'd be super
cool.
All right, let's make a phone call tomorrow. We'll see what we can
All right.
organise.
Yep. Are you working in town Thursday or?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there we go.
Yep, righto.
Madness. Well, I fly to Melbourne tomorrow morning. Andrew and I have to. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for taking me to the airport.
That's all right.
3 o'clock in the morning for a 6 o'clock flight. So we've got a hour and a half drive to the airport from here, and then you're going to head to Beenleigh to finish
Finish that job off. Yeah.
Some fun stuff. You're going to be.
I won't be late for work, that's for sure.
Hydraulic motors tomorrow on the scissor lift.
Yeah, went and picked that up, and we'll put that back in tomorrow. So, back to work, I suppose.
Yes, and then I've got a lovely drive back from Melbourne with my Ineos wagon, so that'll be interesting. No front drive shaft in it; they're front wheel drive, so I'll be driving back in high 4 in rear wheel drive. Well, I won't be. Aiden will be. Yeah, how about that?
Gremlin.
A1 Dan will be driving, and I will be in the passenger seat.
But having done that trip in that car with you from Melbourne before, it's comfortable.
Yeah, and we did it with no front tail shaft as well.
Yes.
Back then.
It just seems to be the way you like to operate it. Not sure.
Well, I got trucked down there to get scanned again and some different bits and pieces done to it, and we just never bothered putting the tail shaft in because we thought we'd truck it back. And I'm like, yeah, I'll drive it back for something cool for Aiden to get some more hours.
It's done it before. It'll do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fine all the way back. Not a hassle.
Yeah, and we towed the trailer in the 60 series and all that sort of jazz as well.
Only thing, make sure you've got some AdBlue before you leave Melbourne.
Yes, exactly right.
That's just double check that because last time we were going past places, no AdBlue.
Which is
What?
crazy.
What?
Truck stops too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Why is there no AdBlue?
Anyway, this is this world we live in because we've got to save the planet, you know. It's all the rest of it. AdBlue is going to make a massive difference to climate change, especially with our 28 million population of Australia. We're making such a dent in that, so thank you to the world of Australians. Anyway,
What are we?
can you pick up on my sarcasm?
Not at all.
1.3% of the world population, something like that.
Yeah, we make such a massive impact into climate change.
Huge impact. Especially you, Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different sort of gas.
Holy dooly. When you dropped that one the other day, I nearly choked.
You can taste them, can't you? I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got to get that looked at too.
I had to go and shave my tongue after you were finished in here.
I rolled over last night. Karen was walking around just spraying the bedroom with toilet spray, so I just must have been farting in my sleep. I don't know what's going on.
I feel sorry. You'd have to go to sleep with a gas mask on because you'd wake up choking. Oh,
Or she could just do it the simple way and elect to go to a different bedroom. Oh, she should know better.
She still loves me, I suppose.
like when you drop them though, like it's not just go up your nostrils and go, oh, that's nasty. Like it's thick. You chew on it. Is that part of the diabetes, you reckon?
No, I don't know. My farts just weigh a lot and they don't move quickly. Like they just, even on a breezy day, they hang around. I don't know what the go is. It's just weird.
I haven't heard that you've got overweight farts.
Yeah, they
Put them on a fucking diet.
But they sit there. They don't move.
I reckon a mortuary smells better than you.
Yeah, I agree.
You might need to get that checked.
It's enough about my arse. Like.
Oh, so that's our week. The spleen, what did you get up to? Tell us about your adventure to the footy.
I know. I went to the footy on one of the days. I don't remember. I had a very busy weekend. And it was
Friday.
with Mum. Thank you. It was with Mum for Mother's Day, a bit of a late gift. And for once, the Titans actually won. So I guess it paid off going down. And, yeah, it was a really good game. And I met Jaden Campbell, which was the highlight of it. Ooh. I know. I heard wedding bells in the distance, if I'm honest with you. So.
Lucky the man can run.
Yeah, he did look like a cute couple when you took the photo together.
I had to laugh.
Stop
I was
it.
at the pub, and I just came out of the shit house.
Fancy that.
Yeah, fancy that. And my daughter was sitting over at the bar, and we sort of both looked up at the TV at the same time, and these pair of idiots on TV.
Were
Yeah, I
they?
made
Yeah.
my TV debut.
Yeah.
Were you on TV?
Yeah,
Yep.
my phone blew up. Everyone saw it. So I'm practically a celebrity now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So-
looked at them, and them looked at me, and was sitting there going, was that them on TV? And I went, yeah. Then I couldn't get hold of Karen because everyone was ringing to saying she was on TV.
It was a very busy game for
Idiots.
us. Yeah.
Wow.
Had the Ted Lasso sign. That's what got him on TV.
Right.
Yeah. And even Jaden Campbell complimented our Ted Lasso sign as well, saying he likes the show. So
I had to Google Ted Lasso. So, guys, if you listen to this podcast and you're into Ted Lasso, I'm sorry I didn't know who the hell it is, and I still really don't know too much about it except for the 2-second clip that I saw of this American clown.
It'll give you something to watch on the flight, though, down to Melbourne.
Why would I download that?
It's such a good show. You'll love it.
Stop it.
You will not stop giggling. It'll be great.
Your mum loves it.
Is that something out of it as well?
Oh, that was an ad for bloody noodles, wasn't it?
Your mum loves it.
You remember that? I'll find it.
You might be looking at different noodle stuff.
I thought that's what you said to your mate when we were in high school. Well, your mum loved it last night, mate.
Your mum rang. She said I left my lunchbox at your house.
Christian, website, merch, and YouTube. Tell us all about it, mate.
Well, jump on the site, guys. rubinsranch.com.au. Pick yourself up some goodies. Very shortly, we're going to have some. I think this week, some extra big sizes, so we can cater to you husky gentlemen, and some extra smalls there for the smaller folk and ladies, I guess. But
cool.
They should come through very shortly, and they'll be ready. We're also thinking about getting some hoodies done. So if there's some interest out there, drop us a line at brightsparks@rubinsranch.com.au.
I've got my hand up. I'll have a hoodie, please.
We'll get a run of hoodies done if there's enough interest. Yep.
Cool. Can we get not the brightest sparks in the head down our sleeves?
You can speak. It's a. No one can actually see you when they listen to this. You can please speak.
Yeah,
He's been put on the spot.
I said, can I get not the brightest sparks in the head down the sleeves?
Let me look that up. No.
Okay, I'll do my own run then.
Carry on. I can ask them if that's an option, if they do sleeve printing as well. They're very accommodating, so let's see what they have.
Yeah, well, you get, I reckon, how about you get it set up the way you want yours. I'll get one with mine with the sleeves printed, and you can get something with, I don't know.
No, you just duke it out and then get
how you like it. No, because then we can all take photos, put it on our socials, and people can vote for which one they like.
All right.
Yes.
Let's do that.
The people can speak.
Yeah.
Better not speak wrong, people.
It's all right, folks. Do the sleeves, not the brightest sparks in the head down the sleeves. And because when it's on your sleeves, it's got nothing to do with your head, does it?
True.
Because we're not the brightest sparks.
Yeah. Maybe you need not the greatest hands in the shed.
Oh, that's the go. Not the greatest hands in the shed. That is cool.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that is cool. But the YouTube thing, can you touch more on that, please?
Oh, yep. You'll find us in the podcast section under Rubens Ranch, and our episodes are gradually getting uploaded there. A little bit behind Spotify and your other places because it does take quite a while to upload. The files are very big.
Yep.
But you can consume it there. It's not a video of us, but it's audio. So you just go to the podcast tab on your YouTube and check it out.
Cool. I'll have to check it out myself. I haven't even looked at it. Have you, Andrew? Have you been that tech savvy?
Oh, we just found that button on the friggin' email.
Oh,
today, so
how about that? Have we got a story for you?
I don't know if it'll astound so many listeners.
Well, Christian taught me something about where the folders are in your email address on your iPhone. I'm blowing with him all day going, I cannot find this. It is what's going on. Anyway, 2 seconds, he goes, press that button, dickhead. And I went, oh, look at that. It gives you a whole bunch of folders.
I can't believe how surprised he was, and happy.
Yeah.
Like a life-changing moment.
Well, wow. Do you know
Who'd have
how
thought
long
that
I've
little
not
blue
been able to
arrow,
find folders on
You
my
can just
phone?
click it and it just expands it.
Yeah, I just thought it was a PC thing, that you could only get your folders on the PC. So I've been living life with just my normal inbox. Listen to the fucking mad scientist laugh his ass off at the dumb Boilermaker.
Yeah, but then ask him if you can get writing on your sleeves. And it's like, huh?
I don't know whether we can do that.
I can ask.
I can only ask.
You won't ask.
You know I won't.
I'll tell you what, we have got a cool ride in this week with the Ranchers Rides.
We do. I'll take it away. I just love reading out into a microphone. It's just so natural. But bear with me, folks. It's not as easy as it seems for some reason. It says, hey, Ruben, Erection King, Mad Scientist and Spleen. Love your pod, guys. Brett here. So Brett wrote in, which is great. On the back of today's pod, last week, I thought I'd send in my rides, including my 67 VE Safari long roof. It's a 225 slant 6, 3-speed column manual. Beautiful. Bought it about 10 years ago for a family cruiser. He's got a Dado Ute. It's his late father's 1200, and it's original but needs some love. That's a very cool car.
Absolutely awesome car.
And
So is the Val, though. Ooh.
very cool cars. And the LJ is my first car. Bought it in 95. That is unreal.
That is
To
super
hold
cool.
on
How
to it
rare?
for that
How
long.
rare is it for someone to have their first car still at our age?
But and guys, if you do have your first car still, love to hear about it and how you held on to it for so long.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all wish we held on to our first cars.
Yes.
But life, things, moving, having no money, renting a place that had no storage,
Yeah.
you know, was always tough. And then obviously your first car, you're sort of like, oh, I can move it along because... it
Well, you want
doesn't-
something better because it's your first car. It's like,
And then you've also needed your car to do everything, right? So you needed aircon, stuff like that, so you could go up and down the highway, be comfortable. But to keep it, that's
but an
awesome.
LJ 2-door is your first car. Like, what a trick bit of kit.
That's pretty
now,
cool.
once I put the photo up on socials, like when Brett had it as a young fella, like that is a sexy, sexy LJ. It's got the GDR flutes in it. It's got the orangey colour, but it's not like a mad orange. It's like a mix between a pastel and a yellow. Like, it's just such a cool colour. And it's got Dragway.
Dragway Pros.
Yeah, like
I
so
had them
cool.
on
So
my
the Dragway
Toronto.
Pros with the holes in
Awesome.
it, and like the blacks, like sills and everything. It is a trick looking car, really is. And it doesn't look half bad now because he's as you read on, Christian.
Yeah, my dad and I resprayed it yellow. But maybe it is
It's probably,
yellow.
it probably is a variant of yellow, you know.
Yeah, right. Excuse me. And put a warm 202 in it. About 20 years ago, I pulled it off the road to give it a makeover. Found plenty of nasties hidden beneath. It's had in a few panel shops that let me down for many years. I'm sure everyone has stories about that.
Oh yeah.
I got it home with the help of great mates. We're getting the rust repairs done. A 265 Hemi will sit in the engine bay when completed, which should get it moving all right.
Holy dooly.
That's a little
Yeah,
bit
right,
different, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is cool.
I've got my work cut out for me till this is finished, but we're worth the end results. And he says, thanks for the motivation.
That is
which I
such a
don't
cool
mind,
play on words.
And like you guys say, even if it's half an hour, it's better than doing nothing. Keep it up, lads. Cheers, Brett. P.S. They had some mint and I haven't taken it off, so that's a good vouch for our merch there. So that's really lovely to hear.
Yeah, absolute legend.
So
thank you,
very
Brett.
much,
What
Brett.
a bloody awesome story.
That wagon is extremely cool.
Look at the pinstriping on the bonnet.
That's a nice touch, isn't it?
Oh, and VE too, like the best shape. Like, I'm not pissing in Christian's pocket here, but VEs are. I just love the big mad grill. It's so wide, steps in like it's going to swallow everything in its path. And having the 225 slant, like, unkillable.
Yeah, right.
So bloody cool.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
a beauty.
And the Dado Ute, like, what a trick bit of kit that is. White Dado Ute. That one there, explain. No, Yep, that one. Look at it. That is delicious.
Little jelly beans on it.
They're cool, eh?
Delicious. We should get the 1,000 back in the shed instead of it sitting outside. The Datsun 1,000.
Someone's
You-
been
you
saying that
reckon?
for, I think, 6 months.
Yes. Or should I go and punch it around a few different panel shops?
Just leave it there for 6-8 months.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's so hard, and they're so busy, and that's the problem with panel and paint. And I think we'll have a lot of listeners out there that'll understand this. Once you get it into a good shop, they take on their bread and butter work, and then the resto seems to just take its time, unless you get it into a proper resto shop. But even then, I don't understand how they pick their jobs. The money's good from everyone, I believe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just hopefully they can hook in and get it sorted. But they just seem to get these little, maybe a flick on a bonnet or on a guard, and they fit that in, and then the project just seems to just take longer and longer and longer to get to, doesn't it?
Well, you hear it all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
More often than not.
Look at the shop right beside, Shane's Abel's down there, and he's a very, very well known panel and paint man. But there's cars sitting in there that just needed some touch ups. They've been in there for 8 months, 9 months since we've been going down and seeing Shane. And I'm looking at it going, at least it's progressed. It's got a bit of plastic on it now. It's moved or whatever else.
Yep.
But yeah, when you're so busy, I don't understand. Hook in and get the one job finished, move on to the next one.
Biggest thing
Why
with that
have
shop down there-
16 started?
Yeah, the biggest thing with that shop down there, that it's really only him.
Yeah.
It's a weird little setup, but yeah, you take your car there because you know who he is.
Yeah,
He is
he's
good at it.
he's a bloody amazing magician. Well, anyway, we're on to the car subject now of badge engineering. Now, I'm going to throw it over to Big Andrew here because I reckon his favourite vehicle, and we had a quick chat before the show, right? And he's into his Falcon Utes, but I reckon he would have one, and he's going to put it out there to you folks in a minute. If you have one, he wants to buy it.
Well, the Nissan Falcon Ute, I suppose what would you call it? You did look up the model.
Yeah, it's an XFN. Look at that picture.
Apparently it only came out in red, but I think it came out in a couple other
So
colours.
explain, just go back to that other tab because that is the car, that is the feature. See that? That XF Falcon Ute with a Nissan badge on it.
The Nissan grill looks cool in it.
It does.
Now.
Yeah, back in
Back
the day,
then.
you wouldn't have been seen driving it. And now, like you said, Andrew, all you want is to get one and slam it on its guts and drive it with the stockos on it, the wheel trims, the works.
Everything, just take it to a car show, and just how many people would go, shit, I remember that.
So
There's none of them around, is there?
no. And I tell you, Street Machine. So when we were doing some research on this, Street Machine have got an unbelievable article, and we'll post the link up on our socials. But it explains what happened with the badge engineering and what they did in the 80s and 90s to try and stimulate different models through Australia. The government must think we're absolute dummies. Oh, they'll think that that Falcon Ute is an actual Nissan. Seriously, how many people... Actually, no, you've touched on this before, Christian. Tell us about your dad with that XF Falcon Ute. And they bought him for... What did they buy him for?
I think they bought them from Telecom back in the day.
Instead of Ford.
Instead of Ford, because I don't know if Nissan came to the party and gave Telecom a better break or how it worked, but it used to be something I used to see as a kid and think, oh, that's odd. Why is that there? And I was saying, that's our fleet vehicles.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that one is a prime example that the only thing changed on that is the badge.
Yeah, on the grill.
The steering wheel's the same. Everything is the same in that vehicle. It's
Got
scary.
the same awesome door handles.
That is the pinnacle of, I believe, the pinnacle of badge engineering.
Yeah.
Of literally changing the front grill badge and the steering wheel. And the research I've done, I think they still had, they were an XF. They were an XF Falcon and XFN We'll just
Yeah.
put an N on the compliance plate. It'll make it fine. No one will know.
Wonder what the N stands for.
Not very common.
No,
Not very common.
But we need one now. That's the problem.
Yeah, we found one on Marketplace, folks, and you can probably go looking. It might still be on there. He's got it advertised for free, but as typical Marketplace people, when you scroll down, it's make an offer or swap something. So, guys, can't you just put a price, on Marketplace? It would make it so much simpler for everybody. Because I got so excited, said, Andrew, you need this, you need this.
Did it have the old saying down the bottom? I know what I've got.
I'm sure he was thinking it.
Yeah. But if there is one out there, I'd definitely be interested.
So, look, I'll touch base on. I'll go through this article and read a few out.
Didn't even get a no out of that. I didn't even get a no.
Well, it's such a cool thing. Like I've got a GQ Nissan Patrol Ute, right? And we drove down to New South, and I bought a GQ Ford Maverick, but a shorty. Right, so I love GQs, and you can get a Ford GQ or you can get a Nissan GQ.
I reckon it looks cool, the 4 badges on it.
Absolutely they do. And I think that's why the four-wheel drive versions didn't get frowned upon so much. Like, so the Ford Courier was a Mazda B series, all the way through. And one of my favourites when I was growing up was the Ford Raider. Now, that was a B series dual cab ute that they jammed a fiberglass canopy on the back, cut out the back window, and made it a station wagon. It was a B 2000 or 2200 petrol or B2600, I think they were. And they made them into a Ford Raider, and they had mad 80s graphics on them. Looked like jet ski graphics up the side.
Was it essentially to try and be like the Hilux Surf?
They must have tried.
Like
or the
that thing
Forerunner. So
people say-
the Surf was an
4Runner.
import. The
Yeah,
Forerunner.
Forerunner. So
Yeah.
they thought, we can have one of these.
Oh, they were the graphics was horrible on them.
So-
Horrible looks cool now, though.
Yeah, it does. It was like an aqua and a pink and
Yeah.
throw a bit of grey in there.
But
and
it's
Don't
not
forget
like
teal.
if you took an immaculate one to a car show, people would froth it.
now,
Yeah.
now most definitely, I would.
Yeah.
Back then, you used to go, look at this, an idiot.
So I'm just gonna reference the Street Machine stuff here. Christian, I'll just glance over Christian's ones because we've all got our sort of favourites. But the Ford Telstar and the Mazda 626, the Ford Laser back in the day, and the 323. But ones that I think people would have forgotten about, okay, and I had to, was the Holden Nova and the Holden Apollo, right? And the Holden Nova was a Toyota Corolla back in the day, and Christian got all excited, was chatting about it too, going, is it the big block? Is it the 4AG? And it's like it's only the 1.6 of the ones we could find on Marketplace for a bit of a look. And the Holden Apollo was the Camry. I mean, what was like Toyota thinking? And then Toyota went to Holden, you know what? I reckon we'll grab the Commodore and we'll make it into a Toyota. Now, that there was practically like the Nissan Ute and Ford, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yep.
Like, all they did was, but they changed the grille. The grille was different. There was a honeycomb-looking grille in the Lexan, the Toyota Lexan,
Yes.
the VN Toyota Lexan. So there's so many, there's four-wheel drives, but there's another one in this Street Machine article, was the, the Daihatsu handy van things? They called it the Holden Scurry. Look at it. Look at it. I had never, ever, ever seen one of those little Daihatsu handy vans called a Holden Scurry. Wow. Now, folks, Google this shit. I'm serious. It is so funny.
I'll meet the Scurry family.
So I'll just read a little bit about how this happened. So Senator John Button, who in the 1980s was Australian Minister for Industry and Commerce, felt that Australia's motor industry at the time was too dependent on protection by import tariffs, and that the 13 different models the 5 Aussie manufacturers were building was just plain too many. The plan was to force manufacturers to build cars of greater quality that were more competitive in the world scale, and some models, even some manufacturers, being sacrificed for the greater good. Now, I don't understand how this is working, right? You're just going to turn 13 models into 30. Okay, manufacturers had to look to each other for support in market segments that could no longer fill themselves. Holden initially teamed up with Nissan and built the Astra, which was a localised N13 Pulsar with a Holden-built engine. So from, the Opel over in England, the car achieved some success, mostly because it looked different enough from the Pulsar to fool Joe and Jane public. Serious? I do not think so. However, this relationship did not last, and Holden Astra was replaced by the equally space-age name Holden Nova. So this is where Toyota came in. Toyota went, okay, I'll take Nissan's place. Around the same time, Holden also introduced the Apollo. Foreigners would point and stare, why do these cars that are blatantly Toyota Corollas and Camrys sport Holden badges? And I mean, and it goes on and on in this article Street Machine did, and like the Holden Chimera was across the world as an Opel this, it was a Chevrolet something, it was a, it even made it into the higher classes of Cadillac or whatever else. Like, what the hell? It's just a super cool article. And, VR Commodores, Willexons, VN to VR. Like, anyway, I digress.
Crazy times.
And now we have nothing.
No, we don't have anything. But you think about that. It was a very, very cool era. We still had car manufacturing in Australia. Like Mitsubishi Magnas. Like Mitsubishi had a factory here. Everybody had factories.
We always forget about that Magna being an Australian-built item.
Yeah.
And as much as people want to hack on it, good car.
Absolutely.
They were very good cars, weren't they?
But see, everyone bags Mitsubishis. They are, like, I'm not saying they're absolutely bulletproof, but they are as good as how you look after them. I've had fleets of, Tritons before, and I've had lots of different things. One of my favourite Mitsubishis of all time was the 380. Holy shit, did they hammer.
It's kind of like the Avalon, right? In that it's just
It was a Camry.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, this has a bigger motor and is better.
Yeah, V6 Camry.
Yeah.
Now, like, we were having a slight little discussion.
Was the turning circle on that horrendous, though?
I don't know. Handbrake worked really well. It flicked around with ease. And smoked the front tyres with the big V6. They absolutely, hammered. So, I don't know, we're talking about badge engineering. We've got onto Mitsubishi, which is, this is the 380, isn't a badge engineered car.
No.
Christian, what was your favourite, mate?
I think my favourite is the 121 / Festiva. Back in the day, the early little guys, those two-door things.
Yeah.
Cool car. I still think it looks cool.
Yeah.
And the door on it used to be so long because just this two-door little nugget box, but geez, that door was big.
Yeah.
Look, it takes up 60% of the car.
Yeah, but a big person could sit in them and the seat could go all the way back, and they had a fair bit of room in those little cars.
Cool little cars. I dig them. And then obviously the Suzuki Swift / Holden Barina.
Yeah.
Just because of my weird proclivities towards that car.
But they were a cool looking car too. They were sort of half bubbly. Like they were cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that shape there, the Aqua one is the one that really does it for me, that shape. In the two-door. Is that the one that you were talking about?
I don't think the Barina got a two-door in that one. I'm not
Didn't
sure.
they?
Yeah. I think they might have been all four doors. Hey, look, there's a sports girl Barina. Yeah.
Oh. If you didn't catch that, that's a few episodes back, guys, on another Hot Hatch episode.
But I digress with my hot hatches. Carry on, gents.
But I remember all these cars being around when I was a kid. Like, where'd they all go? Where
Well,
have they all gone?
They've just been turned into scrap metal.
Yeah, squashed. I remember they did massive drives for scrap metal, and a fella that I bought some HQ shells off down in South Australia, he said it was sacrilege when that scrap steel had gone through the roof, and all these farmers had all these old classic cars. There was Monaros, GT Falcons, all that sort of shit that was just parked out in the paddock that would have been salvageable or in the barn. They
Or
would
even
just
parts of.
Yeah, but they were just sending them to scrap. Like, it's just... But no one knew back then.
No, it was just a car.
Yeah.
Oh,
But also now, the way you see with environmental things and all that, wrecking yards aren't wrecking yards anymore.
No.
It's
No.
just the thing goes in the car, gets processed, some parts come off it, whatever doesn't, just gets sent to where it gets crushed and turned into just metal pieces. And then they just have boxes
yeah, but all
on
the
pallet
but,
racks.
Yeah.
but all the plastic. So now all the plastic gets recycled.
Yeah.
You know, all the aluminium, like everything is recycled, and it's such a shame. I mean, that's why, you know, guys are listening to this podcast, and we are car enthusiasts. To be honest, if I had all the money in the world, I'd want to save, you know, one of every single model that was out there. So you'd have this big mad museum, so people could come and appreciate, you know, the motoring history of our awesome country.
But how good were wrecking yards? Like, you'd go there,
Oh,
so
have your
good.
10 mil spanner and 12 mil spanner in your back pocket and a screwdriver, and you'd just go there and just pull everything you wanted off the car and then take it up the front and pay for it, and off you'd go.
But what I love, though, about the wrecking yards, there was always like a sedan or a hatch cut down, right, and they had two big, massive oxy bottles of oxy
and
kit
they
in the
just
back.
drive around and cut
They
bits
just
off for you.
hack shit off. You know, it was just
Turn the hatch back into a ute so they can bring parts up and back.
Oh, so cool.
But it's just another thing that's died, though, isn't it? It's
Well,
just another thing
it's
that's
another
died.
thing that, you know, environmental, you know, stuff, hoops you got to jump through, and spilling oil on the ground and all that sort of crap. And I mean, just give us a break. Like, anyway, we could go on and on and on. I just would love to preserve all that old school way of life.
Are there any old wrecking yards still around that sort of exist like that?
I
Was
think
that-
I've seen one.
Down in New South, that one.
Isn't there one out near your work?
Uh,
Just kind of up on that hill. You can see a fair
yeah,
bit of stuff there.
it's not the same anymore. Like,
Okay.
it's all neat and tidy, and they've pulled the parts off. They have it in the shed. They don't send it. You're not allowed, because workplace health and safety. You're not
can't
allowed
go
to
around
send
the
out.
yard.
You're not allowed to go out and take your own shit off anymore.
Right.
You know, because some douchebag has stubbed their fucking toe or whatever and sued the place and made it all hard for everybody.
I used to go to one over at Redcliffe. It was all Ford wreckers.
Yeah.
You used to go over there. You'd go out there in your thongs, probably no shirt on, probably take a couple of beers with you while you're pulling shit apart. Like, it was awesome. It was good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
Charlton Wreckers used to be good out here.
yeah.
Like they used to have I can't remember what the price was, or you can have carry days.
Oh, really?
I had a mate carry out an entire interior of a Sigma, just all of the seats.
Wow.
He was like, "No, I got it," and carried it out, and I was like, "Well done, Bill. Well played."
Like, just mad fun. Like, anyway, and I think my son Aiden and Hannah won't get to experience going to the wrecking yard like that, like we did as kids with your old man, you know?
Yep.
Like the old XB Falcon, Dad would want something for it, or we had an old International truck, so you go to a different wreckers for heavy vehicles and all that sort of shit. You know, that was just... And when you're a kid, you know, we didn't have computer games and stuff like that. We just looked forward to that outing.
Yeah, yep.
It was so fun.
Well, geez, when I was young, it used to be all right to go to the dump. Like, you used to be able to... You'd find shit at the dump.
Oh, yeah. And now it's just a processing plant into some containers and they throw it out. Years ago, you used to get to scavenge and, you know, pull shit out. Oh, there's a mower. There's another... But push bike... Like, people used to throw out full push bikes. You could go to the dump and build yourself a pushy in a weekend, piece of piss, just out of parts from the dump.
Never thought I'd be talking like this. Back in my day.
Well, welcome to your 40s, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
The good old days.
the people who listen to this podcast will appreciate what we're talking about, I'm sure. And if you're young and you didn't get to experience this, like I'm sure there's some videos on YouTube or wherever else, some old footage that you get to go and see what they did. And look, maybe in your area, maybe some country areas of Australia, they might still have some wrecking yards like we're talking about. But in the built-up areas like we are here, you just don't get that type of freedom. So if you have, please send us like where that is, and on our road trips through Australia as we go around, we want to call in and check them out, I reckon.
Just to even find just little bits and pieces, like, you know, that in the old Valiants, the doorknobs, stuff like that. You know, it's just been lost to time, and now you got to go buy repops or buy it new or buy whatever, rather than just finding it on a car.
Recycling.
Upcycling.
Upcycling, yeah.
Well, it was
It
recycling,
was
but what do you
recycling.
call it? Upcycling.
Upcycling.
Yeah.
Upcycling. There you go. So, what's your favourite?
What the...
Like, I mean, I know we touched on all those different cars, but surely you've got your badge engineered car that is your absolute favourite of time, other than the Falcon Ute.
Well, the other one was the Maverick and the Patrol. Like, that was another one of mine.
Yeah,
I really
stole
liked
that just
one.
before.
Hey?
I stole that just
Yeah,
before.
I know. Well, what else was there? I mean, Mazda and Ford worked together for a while with
Well,
the
you've got a badge engineered Ute. You've got a Ford Courier, which is actually a B series.
It's a B series, and how long did that last for? Like, it went for a long time, that combination with Mazda and Ford, didn't it?
It absolutely did. Well, it only just finished.
With the Ranger and BT, was it?
Yeah.
Like
So the BT50 with the 5-cylinder variant and the Ford Ranger 5-cylinder. So I think it's PJ. I could be wrong,
Yeah,
but the new.
Korean, yeah.
So just type that in. I should know this shit
Yeah, I
with
had
the
a
PJ, or is it PX Ranger? Sorry, PJ. Just put in PJ.
PJ Courier, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's the model before, but the PX is what I'm talking about. I think is the one with the 5-cylinder. Yeah, that was the last of them with the PX and the BT50, and then obviously BT50 and Isuzu D-Max have teamed up, and that's the latest badge engineered car.
Yeah, so it was, so B Series Courier, then what was it, Bravo Courier?
Yep, Bravo
and
Courier.
then BT Ranger.
Yeah, and I bought a BT, or not a BT, I bought a B2500, the diesel with the first suicide doors. Mm-hmm. Beautiful Bravo, gunmetal grey, excellent car. But when I was looking, I looked at the Ford as well. And when I popped the bonnet, I nearly bought the Ford just because on that turbo diesel engine, it had red turbo like down the top of the tappet cover, like the plastic thing. It was just
all
like
the important things.
like just the cool, like Ford
Like
just
an old
did.
Cordia or something.
Yeah, just Ford did just some little different. Even though it was made by Mazda, Ford did just these little extra little different things. Just like I was talking to you about before with the Ford Telstar and the 626. I reckon the Telstar had nicer interior, the velour in it, the different colours that they did. You know, and look, Ford and VW have teamed up now. So the Ford Ranger Next Gen and the Amarok, you know, is the exact same car. So it's still absolutely nuts through the world. Badge engineering is huge. And if you do Google it, guys, you want to Google badge engineered cars Australia, okay, then you'll find a lot of our variants, because if you just type in badge engineered, you will get what they do in the States, Europe. It will just mind boggle you. There's so many different variants.
Well, is it, did the Nissan Navara, did Mercedes borrow a fair bit of that vehicle too, the MP300?
Yeah, they did their own. Mercedes did their own dual cab Ute, which was just a Navara Ute.
It was it?
But
Yeah.
it died in the arse.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was just, you're paying for a Mercedes, but you were getting a Navara, and like everybody saw through that. It's a bit like it's all right if Mercedes were going to sell it for the same price as the Navara, but when's that going to happen?
And what did they do any better? Just put a bit better tech in it, probably, did they?
No,
Nothing.
nothing different.
So you can bolt Mercedes panels onto your Navara.
I might have to.
That'd be all right. I like.
That'll look good going up the beach.
Well, I'm sure lots of people have punted those Mercedes Navaras up the beach. And look, Navaras are another underrated car. Like, I know they have their dramas they have in the past with different models, but the current model, yes, it's a little bit outdated, but where do you get another vehicle in that market that's coil rear end? You don't get in the dual cab market coils. Everything else is leaf, so that's where Navara's point of difference. If you like four-wheel driving or you like a bit of better ride, the Navara certainly has it with the coil rear end.
Outdated suits me.
Yeah, but that's right. Who wants all this lane assist shit and brake for you and whatever else? It drives you absolutely nuts.
It'd be okay if you just could have one button that you can turn off until you turn it back on again, not every time you turn the key.
Yes, but you know what the Australian government has decided to do, right? They've got to make it hard. So then they made it two-factor. So you've got to do two things. So you can't just press a button. So you've got to go to the screen, into a different thing and turn it off, all right? This is with brand new models coming in. So like Ford Rangers have missed it and a few other cars. But now they want all this because they reckon lane assist is ELK or whatever they call it, but it's electronic lane assist. And they think that is one of the most major safety features in a car now, right? Which I think is absolutely dangerous because it fights you with the steering wheel, all right? And I suppose they're trying to get everyone used to self-driving, but if there's not a white line on the road, and you've got that on and you've taken your hand off the wheel, all of a sudden it has a freak out because there's no white line to reference.
Also,
and then it's dangerous as
what about
buggery.
in rural areas where you don't get a white line on the shoulder?
Exactly. So it doesn't
So
work. It just sends you nuts.
It's happy to drift off there.
Yeah. So the Great Wall is a perfect example, right? Chinese ute, we'll give you all the tech. Doesn't fucking work. It will kill you. All right. So that Tank 300, if you do not get in and you turn off that electronic lane assist, as soon as you pull out of our driveway onto a rural road like that, it has an absolute meltdown. It pulls left, right. It does not know what the hell it's doing. And now, like the two-factor is what currently is. The next lot of safety bullshit is three-factor. So you're going to have to go into, a screen. You're going to have to go into another section and then turn it off. Now, how many people are going to try and do that while they're driving? How many accidents is that going to fucking
it's not real safe in the
cause?
first place, is it?
Well, it's not. I know for me, as soon as I get, because you forget, because you drive, like if you're driving different cars, shit, goddamn, and you got to go into the menu, find it, turn it off while you're driving. So, and that's not illegal. You can touch your screen on your car while you're doing it. So you can't touch your phone, right, in your hand, but if your phone is in a holder, okay, you can touch it because it's just like the screen on your car, but you can't hold it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
there's so many, gee whiz. Who cares? That's another rabbit hole, folks. Let's not go down there.
Just another old man rant, which is valid.
Well,
Like the other one it's really good if people maintain speed and everyone was using the same tech is adaptive cruise.
yeah.
That everyone would sort of move in a pack, but you've got other people.
But
just
you'd end up
cruising
doing
at-
60 because
Yeah,
you'd
'cause
forget about it and go, oh, shit.
just cruising down the left lane and they're taking their time and that's fine. But then you go, oh, what am I doing? You've got to pull out and go around.
Yeah.
Flat stick.
Anyway, so I reckon electronic lane assist will take me into the next segment because it fucks with my mental health. It really, really does.
And that works well, given that this week Ruben actually gave me this subject. He sent me a little reel on it, and it was about a guy sort of explaining, don't let a bad moment give you a bad day.
Yeah.
And just how sometimes we forget, and he broke it down into minutes of the day as currency and saying, over 5 minutes, would you burn the rest of this money?
Yeah,
Would
so
you
what was
set
it?
that on?
I can't remember. It was 1,080 minutes in a day. Something. So he explained it as, so if you had $1,080, okay, and you dropped $5, okay, would you Yeah, exactly. Throw the rest of the $1,075 in the bin for the sake of losing 5.
Yeah, that's right.
And what a way that woke me up. I'm like, yeah, wow. Why would you let one bad moment
yeah,
wreck your day?
and
Yeah, well.
it's easier said than done, of course, as all this stuff
Absolutely.
is. But when you think about it that way, like, yeah, come on, man, that's just. And most of the time, these inconveniences, say they're just in life inconveniences, somebody cuts you off, they probably didn't look or didn't see, and they're thinking about 1,000 things, but we don't think about it that way. You go, why did that happen? What are you doing? I'm pretty fried about that. Or someone hits you in the Achilles with their shopping trolley, and you're like, I don't need that.
Could be on purpose.
But
You have gone shopping with me.
when it's you ramming me, I understand that it's completely on purpose. But you know that they don't mean to. It's a slight thing, but it can get you steamed, and you sit in it for too long, and you're just like, oh, just let it go. But it's something you just got to practice. When you catch yourself having that little slip, and you sort of getting carried away with it, you're like, hold on, do I really want to make my day about something that was an accident or someone didn't even consider? And why should I walk around with that all day?
Do you find yourself getting better at it though? Like, do you find you got more patience these days? Or
Well, I am, because we talk about it each week, and I reflect on what we've spoken about, and I go, okay, you know what, if when we're talking about breathing and different things and whatever else, like I go, I'll give it a crack. You know, I don't do the exact same. What do you call it? The word has escaped me.
Meditation.
I don't do the same meditation as Christian, but I put on like tranquil music or whatever, like the ocean and whatever else, and I can just have 10 minutes just listening to that, and I just zone out.
yeah, yeah.
And I saw that meme the other day, and it really, really hit home with me, and went, you know what? That is so true. Why would I let a silly little moment ruin my day? And I tell you what, folks, a lot of shit's been put in perspective for me. You know, one of my close friends I've grown up with since primary school is dying of cancer, right? And he would swap anyone for their shittest day, you know, to deal with that shit day, to have his health. And that's what we've got to remember. And the same thing goes, if someone cuts you off because they weren't looking properly, or you know, they're a bit abrupt to you or whatever else, you don't know what's going on in their life. They could have a mum dying of cancer, a dad dying of cancer. They could have, you know, one of their siblings have a car accident. You just don't know what someone else is dealing with in their day. And I think we just need to be a little bit more patient and considerate. And you know what? Take on that bit of a theory. Okay, I'm not going to let, you know, one moment wreck me day. And then while you're thinking about that, you could think, I wonder, you know, what that person's going through. And maybe, like, don't say it in a smart-ass way, because, you know, we've all done that before. But if someone's treating you shit or whatever, serving you at a shop or something, and they're not treating you right, maybe instead of getting aggressive at them, just say to them, hey, mate, you okay? Like, is there something that's going on that's upset you? Like, blah, blah, blah. I know that can be confronting and whatever else, but you never know, that one question from a total stranger might just make that person reflect and go, oh, yeah, shit, sorry, mate, I'm just having a bit of a bad day. You know, something else is going on in my life or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's a luxury to have the energy to be upset about something insignificant.
Absolutely.
That's why I sort of look at it, and I'm like, when I find myself getting a bit out of shape about stuff, I go, what a luxury. What an absolute luxury that you can think that way.
Yep.
Because if you had critical things going on in your life, you wouldn't have the bandwidth to even think that day. You go, oh, well, let it pass. Because I've got bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely. You know, and being in business, the economy's tight. You know, there's hard things going on for a lot of people out there, you know, with getting paid and money and all the rest of it. And if you've got your health seriously, maybe turn your frown the other way up, turn it upside down and smile, because that's one thing that you've got. You know, and the money troubles will you know, they'll either always be there and you'll adapt, or you'll just get through that shit point and just reflect on what you can be grateful for in your life. Look at, you know, you've probably got a loving family or something else. There's always something that you can be grateful for, you know, because I tell you, it's sad watching someone die slowly, you know, when they are honestly only 45 years of age and they've probably got 6 to 12 months. I don't even think they've got 6 months. You know what I mean? The way they're going downhill. And it just, wow. You can imagine what they would trade for another crack.
Oh. I just hate to, like, just sitting there having to think about it would be horrible.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Like, wouldn't it be an awful feeling?
Yeah, of course. It's something we don't like to think about, something we don't want to think about, something we distract ourselves with many other things that maybe don't matter. But on that note, I was pulling into a car park earlier this week, and there was just someone standing there and they just had a smile on their face just naturally, and they looked at me, and I thought, wow, what a difference that makes. And I thought, I need to do that more.
Yep.
You know, they were just smiling, and it caught my eye, and I smiled back and went, geez, that was pleasant.
Yep.
You know, and look, I haven't done it.
He had his pants down. It was really weird.
But we
And he was
always
behind
say,
a
we always say
dumpster.
when we go to a cafe and that, if someone serves you and they've got a smile, it makes it such a better experience.
Absolutely. And you know what, like, and I know that it was a bit of a fad going around and whatever else a while ago, but pay it forward. Like, I used to do it now and again. You'd be in the coffee shop lineup or whatever else, and you know, you just pay for the order behind you.
Yep.
Like in the drive-through and shit like that, and then that person gets it. They don't need to. They'll never know who it was.
Yeah, yep.
But how cool is that? What that does to someone, paying it forward. Oh, the car in front just paid for your coffee, you know, or your Big Mac meal or whatever.
Yeah, yep.
Like, wow, what's it cost you? $5, $10, just to make someone else's day. You know, and I think I'll start doing little different things like that just to perk someone else up. You know.
I think that the easiest one is just smiling. That really took me by surprise, and I was like,
Yeah, but then you
"That's
sent me a
awesome."
photo of that trolley in the bay you were going to park in, so I'd be smiling too, ruining your day
I
by not
actually-
being able to drive into the car park because the trolley that wasn't put back in.
I'd actually parked, and it was in the bay next to me. I went and put it back, or maybe they were reserving a space with it. I don't know, but it was right there.
I laughed. You sent me that photo. I'm just giggling, going, "Oh, that is a perfect spot to leave the trolley." And
I'm
look,
surprised it wasn't you. This is how I pay it forward, people. Chuck my trolley wherever it lays. It lays.
and look, guys, you know, we've just touched on a couple of little things that can make someone else's day, and I'm sure that there's so many different ideas out there, and whatever floats your boat. But exactly what Christian said, maybe we all just need to smile a bit more, and might completely change someone's day.
And it helps you. And
Yeah.
it's something we don't do enough, but when you do it, you're going, that was really dumb, why don't I do this more? Then you forget about it, and then you do it again, and you think, why don't I just do this more? I'm not talking about walking around grinning like an idiot, but, you know, just
He
having
gets that weirdo that smiles all the time. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's got some problems.
You know, but even that makes someone else smile. Giggle. And then they got to tell a story. You should have seen this clown.
This
He
grinning
pulled up
idiot.
and parked next to me trolley, and he turned around and smiled.
Just turns up in car parks and puts trolleys away with a big smile on his face.
Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Well, I reckon that's drawing us to a close of the show. And we haven't picked a subject for next week, so it's going to be a lucky dip, folks, because we could go down a massive rabbit hole talking about what we're going to talk about next week.
Well, we've got
But-
plenty of time in the morning to figure something out. We'll
Yeah.
talk on the way down.
Absolutely. On the way to the airport.
Yeah, shit the bed and we'll get on our way.
Yeah.
Are you having a sleepover tonight?
Yes.
Spooning.
Oh, Speaking of sleepovers,
Oh, yeah. Well,
forgot.
folks, have I got a story for you. Anyway, we cooked some camp ovens on the weekend and whatever else. We're having a few beers, and Christian decides to go to bed. And I said, listen, mate, just go sleep on the couch. Next minute, I walk past the shed where we, like, you couldn't have put it in, like, you couldn't have slept in the most weirdest spot right in front of the beer fridge as well. Like, he is just set up in front of, it's cold, by the way, folks, down here.
was
And
cold.
he's got one of these lecky blankets that we've nicely snuggled into right now. He's got the dog bed, right? He's laid it on the concrete, put his electric blanket over the top. He's got a sleeping bag, and he's put his hat over his eyes because he can't find the light switch.
I couldn't find
and
that.
he has just gone to sleep on the concrete, well, practically on the dog bed in the shed. What was wrong with going to the house, I do not know.
Well, I
but
had my dog with me.
it
see?
was absolutely hilarious.
My shoulder is a bit sore.
You're an idiot.
I just, what the...
We just walked past and Reuben just went and turned the light off and just kept walking.
Oh, so funny.
You seen this idiot sleeping in here? I said, yeah, sorry.
I saw him, leave him to it. He knows what he's doing.
Well-
I had my dog with me, see, so I didn't just want to take him inside, and I can just set up in the shed there.
Well, absolutely unbelievable. So I would like to put it out there, if you've got to this part of the podcast, can you please, maybe it could be a new segment, send in the weirdest places you've slept and the weirdest positions you have slept in or woken up in, maybe. I reckon the spleen would have a story or two about waking up in some weird areas.
I don't think I do, actually.
Wow.
Stop it. I reckon there'd be a story wrapped up around a Coke can somewhere.
Okay, let's not go there.
I've woken up in a few spots. I've wondered how I got there.
I think your sheepskin seat cover bed trumps my...
Oh, the first night you
first
slept
time I
over
came
here.
here.
It trumps my dog bed floor thing.
He slept on the sandstone block out the front. He found some sheepskin seat covers that I had laid, actually for me whole LJ Tirana, like original sheepskin covers. He's gone and tried.
And it was like this. It was cold.
It was that cold.
Yeah, it was freezing. Oh, shit, I was trying to find somewhere warm. Oh. He did say come inside, but
But you know how that... See? It happens like that.
Wow. Yeah, okay, you open your home to someone. No, they just want to sleep in the garden.
I came in the next morning.
Wow. Anyway, I reckon that's probably going to be a good segment. Where have you slept?
That'll be much worse than ours. Much
Oh, there
Oh,
would
yeah,
be.
yeah.
There would be.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
It's got to be slept, not passed out, because that's different.
Yeah, slept, like
You've
on
got to
purpose.
voluntarily go somewhere and
Yeah.
decide you're going to make a nest out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I slept on in my swag on the side of the road in truck stops and different things like that. But that's just, you're comfortable. You're in your swag until it started raining. But, you know, but where have you been caught out and had to have a snooze? Yeah, well. Anyway, Spleen, you got anything to say before we sign off, mate?
No, I think that's me for the week.
Well,
For the week.
right, for the
Yeah.
week. What have you got on this weekend?
I don't have any F1 this weekend. I'm going to have so much free time. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Why don't you come down to Shieldy's and look at some cars?
Oh, I'm thinking-
Maybe you should just catch up on your studies.
No, I'm done for this semester now. I finished my last exam today.
Oh, you'd be getting to the end of the uni
Is it June,
calendar.
July holidays
Yeah, it
already?
would be.
Yeah.
And so what
Always
about
on
work?
holidays.
You're not working Friday, Spleen?
I'm not working Friday. No.
Oh, well, be useful and come to the Schultes.
You
Is
might
it
be
gonna
able to
cold?
operate a camera for us.
Is it going to be cold?
Yeah.
No, summer should be here by then.
Okay.
It'll be cool, but it won't be cold. Like
The weather does look good.
yeah, right.
okay.
So I will put it out there, though. I'm going to Schultes. I want to do some interviews of some mad cars, and I want to talk to you about your builds. Christian will be floating around. He will be doing exactly the same.
Yep.
Okay, and so will Andrew, and we're going to get all different perspectives, from our points of view, not as a group. So we're going to be doing individual interviews, and we're going to do the same with Cot Show the week after. So guys, get amongst it. Get your car down there so we we can froth all over it and put it up all over our socials, guys. So I'm going to sign out there. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Thanks, guys. Put your shopping trolleys back and go easy on yourself.
Yep, check in on your mates. Check your oil and your attitude. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Good
guys.
night.